Episode 124. The gloves are off.
Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. This episode is presented by Wash. Visit the new convenient pickup and drop-off location at 21 Brilliant Avenue in Aspinwall, or click pickupwashdeliver.com and see how easy it can be to do the wash. This episode is also brought to you by One Tom Plumber. Fast, reliable, affordable, 24/7 plumbing and drain cleaning services throughout the Pittsburgh area. Save this number, 412-307-7622.
Just talk, man. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Here we are again. That's not awkward.
Here we are.
Oh, fuck, well, you're ready. You're ready, I guess.
We're here.
I wasn't even ready.
We're going.
Yeah, we're going.
We're live.
We're live. We're freezing our ass off again here in Pittsburgh.
Dude, literally Sunday, I rode my motorcycle home from the office with no jacket on.
Dude, I saw a lot of guys posting shit like that.
Monday, we have 4 inches of snow. What?
Dude, I had 6 inches on my front porch. I was shoveling. You
shoveled it. Fuck that.
I shoveled a path to the cars, and that was it.
I ain't doing shit. But it's gone now anyway.
Yeah, it was nuts, and that's problematic for like my business because people, they shut down again. Like, cause I know I did, personally I did. I'm like, fuck it, just get me home. I don't even want to stop anymore. Just send me home.
Monday, I'm here working and I'm like, man, I just had flurries. It's not gonna lay though. I mean, it's not supposed to snow much.
On Sunday?
Later, it's on Monday. And then I'm like,
oh yeah. Right.
A little bit later, I'm like, what? Oh, that's a lot of snow out there. I left, I'm like, what the? Holy shit. Like, I didn't have anything in my truck to clean the snow off. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Dude, I'm driving down 910. I had to stop at Greco's to clean the headlights off with my hand because I'm like, I can't see shit. I can't see over the snow that's on my hood.
I said to my 6-year-old, I said, hey, Grandpa, look outside. He looked outside and he was like, his face got all sad. I'm like, I know, bro. It sucks.
Yeah.
So that fucking groundhog was right.
Fuck that groundhog,
nailed it,
dude.
Yeah, so I guess warm up, and we're used to it. Well, we should be, but for the last 4 years, we've had really light winters. We've kind of transitioned into spring right around Valentine's Day, and
and I think this was probably it. I mean, I looked at the 15-day. By the time this airs, it's going to be like, oh, what happened? What snow? But I looked at the 15-day, and it's all 40s, 50s, 60s, so it's all good. I think this was that last little blast.
Yeah. Well,
and I think we're done.
By the time this airs, I'll be a year older. I'll be 42.
Oh, shit.
But my birthday, I mean, my whole life, I've had, we've had sled riding days on my birthday. I've golfed on my birthday.
So what's
the 23rd is the actual day. But
okay.
It's been one of those days where like, especially as a kid too, like you can't, you're not having a pool party, but like you're not planning anything outside in Pittsburgh still. So got that going for me. That's interesting. I mean, 42 is just another year, right? So the part that gets me is like, I never thought I'd live to see 40, dude. So now I'm on bonus time, drive fast, take chances in your 20s. You're like, I bought a motorcycle at 22 because I was going through a midlife crisis.
Midlife at 22.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the weather, I never think about it because we do have these long seasons, right? So like summer's long, but like I never realized how much the weather impacts business. So like, I mean, we've talked about it on here, but like this week was a reminder because like our street in Aspinwall at the new store was bustling. People were getting coffees. They're walking down the street with their coffees and they're looking in windows and they're, oh, how long you been here? I'm like, since November, Like, it's, if you think back to like November, we had an early cold year and we had a long winter this year. And not a lot of people were doing window shopping. And then you get excited because it's like the bustle's coming back and the Girl Scouts were outside selling cookies and like short sleeve t-shirts and like, let's go. And then fuck you on Monday.
Yeah.
And it was weird because on Saturday I heard a guy on the radio say Groundhog Phil is sitting behind a dumpster somewhere praying for one more little flurry. And he fucking got it. So.
Yeah, we got it all right.
Yeah, so now we'll just rebound. That's all,
Yeah.
I didn't take the snow tires off the van yet. I've been in Pittsburgh long enough to know that we don't do anything as far as like putting the shovel away or anything until about,
June.
A little after Easter. Easter's late. Yeah. Memorial Day, So, and that's that's what drives me crazy about like our ancestors decided that this is where they needed to fucking reside.
Yeah.
They could have spent another 3 days driving.
Yeah.
And I could have been in Charleston, South Carolina, living my life right now. But they were like, hey, let's pump the brakes before the Appalachians. I heard it snows fucking 8 months out of the year here. Let's fucking pitch a tent here. Like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, there's iron and ore, but they truck it in on trains. We're going to make steel there. Like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah.
So, but Pittsburgh's in the news all over the place. I mean, so it's not a bad place to live. The draft's coming, obviously, we talked about that. The data centers are coming to Pittsburgh. They're getting a big pushback. The residents don't want them, and I think that certain pockets of any community, they could say, hey, we're going to store gold bars here. And everybody's going to get $1 million in the neighborhood.
There's going to be some people that are going to be like, oh,
dude, gold, it's so dirty. Like
somebody's going to bitch.
Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ.
I put a post up on Facebook the other day, just a text and a picture, because there's a state rep in Pennsylvania that proposed a bill to eliminate the Pennsylvania inheritance tax, which is fantastic. Pennsylvania is only one of 5 states left in the country that still has an inheritance tax, and this bill removes it. And the inheritance tax can be devastating to a family.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're not talking about people that are inheriting $250 million. You're talking about people that are inheriting a little bit.
Mom's house.
Right.
Her retirement account.
Right.
And the devastating part people don't want to pay attention to is your inheritance isn't always liquid. So if you inherit a piece of property or a retirement account, you may be forced with a decision where you have to take out a loan to pay the inheritance tax, or you have to cash out or sell the piece of property, and maybe you didn't want to do that. Yeah,
if it happens in November or December too, you're on a short cycle.
Well, you don't have to do it on a tax period. You have 9 months, but
okay.
So it's a different cycle. But it's just, when you hear stories about families losing their farms, that's what that is. Okay. So what would end up happening is, back in those days, families would grow up multi-generations in a household, right? Grandpa and grandma own the property, and the kids and the kid and his wife moved in, and they live there with grandma and grandpa and their kids. So there's 3 generations in a house on this farm, and they produce agriculture, whatever. Well, when grandma and grandpa die and they leave that to the kid, there's an inheritance tax.
Right.
And it's 4.5% if it's a direct decedent. It could be more if it's an uncle, for instance. It could be up to 15%. Yeah. So it's a big portion. But what would end up happening in these stories where you hear of families losing farms is if that farm got appraised for $1 million because it's 200 acres and whatever, that means that family has to come up with, even at the 4.5%, they have to come up with 4.5% of $1 million. Well, that means they either have to try to take out a mortgage, but maybe they can't take out a mortgage. Maybe they don't have the credit for it. Maybe there's not a bank that'll lend to a farm, or they have to sell the farm.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, this farm that's been in the family for generations is gone because Pennsylvania has to get their inheritance tax. Those are the things that happen when you have an inheritance tax with no floor. There's an estate tax, a federal estate tax, but it doesn't kick in until last year was $12 million. The big beautiful bill actually even made it even higher, so that you don't pay any of that tax until the value of the estate exceeds that $12 million floor. Meaning, if it's $12 million and $1, you pay an estate tax on the $1. That's the whole purpose for the gift tax, the gift limits, and all that kind of stuff, to prevent you from circumventing the estate tax. So the feds have a so-called inheritance tax as well, but there's a floor so that normal people aren't affected by it. Pennsylvania, there's no floor. And Pennsylvania expects you to take an inventory of all the assets that grandma had when she died. So they want to know, what's her engagement ring worth? What's the TV in her house worth? What's the car worth? What's the house worth? What's this worth? What's that worth?
Yeah, for a normal family.
It's devastating. And then to make matters worse, you've got attorneys out there that are fucking assholes, and they prey on this, and then they come in and go, okay, well, we'll do it. And then they base their billing on a percentage of the estate value.
Right.
And now all of a sudden they're looking at a huge legal fee. They're looking at an inheritance tax. They're going to lose that inheritance because of an inheritance tax that's an archaic tax that Pennsylvania just happens to be 20% of the states left that still have it.
Right.
And so this bill eliminates it. The reason I said this is that I posted this on Facebook that, hey, you need to pay attention to this, and you need to call your congressman or call your state rep.
Tell them to get on board.
And you need to tell them that you need to support House Bill 1394 because they need to eliminate the inheritance tax. It's bullshit. I actually had a comment today. Yeah, another tax break for the rich. We need to end corporate welfare in this state. How are you going to make up for the deficit when you lose that tax? And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, who is for an inheritance tax? This is already taxed money.
Yeah,
they had to pay income taxes on the money that they used to buy all this shit that now they're now paying inheritance tax on.
They paid property tax and everything's been taxed. I feel like that tax is probably going right into the pockets of the scumbags. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It's a horrible, horrible tax. I hate it. I don't do a ton of them because they're very, very involved. But I've done a handful of simple ones, especially when a client, meets with an attorney and the attorney's like, oh, I'll do it, but I want 20% of the estate. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, we went to school for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we won't get into details on here, but I mean, you're seeing it in like private practices. Like you're seeing the man come down on like everybody.
We can get into that.
All right.
You afraid?
I'm not afraid. I just don't want, if I like have a fucking 7-inch cut on my knee and I go to UPMC, I don't want them to fucking amputate because we talked about it. You know what I mean? I want to get cared for when I go to these places.
So
maybe we'll revisit this. We'll get real facts, and we don't want to stir a lot of people up. Dude, you just turn on the news next Wednesday and there's just people picketing UPMC and we're like...
It's both of them. It's not just UPMC, it's Highmark too. Yeah. Oh, we already started it. Let's just go.
Do you think Highmark just rides on the coattails of UPMC a little bit?
I think they're trying to compete so hard with UPMC that they're actually the victim of this competition.
Right, and
I think private practice and the consumer.
I think that UPMC gets such a bad name for the antics and the shit that they do that like nobody ever talks about Highmark.
Yeah,
they're just like the little brother
hide in the back, and they do the exact same shit.
Yeah, like the big brother and the little brother stole a car, and it's always the big brother's fault.
Right.
So
I had a conversation with a client in the medical industry, and they shined a little bit of light on some of the practices that UPMC and Highmark are doing right now. And it was shocking to me. They are actively, in my opinion, and I think that the evidence is pretty apparent, they are actively trying to eliminate the private practice industry in the medical field.
Yeah, I don't even think they're really hiding it. I just don't think people know how it's happening.
Right.
Right.
So a doctor that sees you in a hospital is required to have an office in that hospital.
Yeah.
So they have to pay rent to the hospital for that box. That allows them to practice within that hospital.
And I don't know if that's standard practice with every hospital, but I'd imagine that
in
real estate, space is money.
Right. So over the last couple years, these hospitals, particularly UPMC is the one that we were discussing, have increased those rents 10 times. So a doctor that maybe was paying $2,000 is now paying $20,000 or more for the same space in one hospital.
Yeah, so 10x.
10x. In addition to that, these insurance companies have reduced what they're paying the doctor for procedures. So they're actually not only increasing the expense, but they're decreasing the revenues.
Right.
So they're coming in and saying, okay, so you did this procedure, you used to charge $7,000 for it, we'll pay you $700. The shady part of it is that if that office was not a private practice and it was a UPMC facility or a Highmark facility,
still $7,000.
AHN, it would still be $7,000 because they can also add on a facility charge to make up for the difference, which a private practice cannot do. So they found a way to circumvent the shortcut of revenue. So these companies, these hospitals, these hospital systems are increasing the expenses for private practices, decreasing the revenues for the private practice. So they're squeezing them and making it almost impossible for them to operate. And then they're coming to them and going, would you like to become a UPMC facility? And trying to take over the practice.
Well, of course, they're going to give them a big nut for them to get out, right?
Incorrect. They typically do not. They will buy equipment for whatever the depreciated value is. They may buy the real estate for whatever they decide that it's worth. Typically, there is no payout for the practice itself. The doctor is given a contract for so many years to become a W-2 employee of UPMC. And now they have to operate and perform and maintain certain quotas that UPMC dictates. Ever wonder why your doctor only spends 15 minutes with you at tops and they're in and out? It's because they're mandated to see so many patients in a day, where a private practice doctor can decide, I want to spend more time with my patients.
Right.
Whenever you're just a cog in a wheel, you are required to see so many people. But these offices have high expenses. They have high payrolls. They have to maintain, a lot of them, they pay their staff well. They pay for benefits.
There's a lot of similarities in all businesses. People think, how can you charge $25 for a pizza? It's like, well, it's the cost. We talked about it last week. It's the cost.
It's the cost. So,
and if I can't afford to pay my bills and pay my people a workable wage, then the only thing I can do is raise the cost, right?
Right. But these doctors' offices can't raise the cost because their primary revenue source is the insurance companies,
right,
that are also owned by the hospital systems. Yeah. So you've got hospital systems that own the insurance companies, they own the hospitals, squeezing the private practice doctors, and then coming in and basically taking over the practices.
And like Pittsburgh just laid down and let it happen.
I don't know that it's necessarily a Pittsburgh specific issue.
No, it's probably all healthcare.
It's probably
everywhere.
all the healthcare systems everywhere, but it's eliminating any choice that we have as patients. And you wonder why the healthcare system is so fucked up in this country. We have no choices anymore.
Yeah, there's no choices, and you either pay to play or you don't play.
And let's not ignore the fact that UPMC is tax exempt.
Yeah, they're nonprofit.
They're nonprofit.
For the amount of airplay that got locally for them donating $10 million. And
as long as they keep greasing the politicians with $10 million worth of ambulances or whatever, they're always
personally, if I was the mayor, I mean, not that it's the mayor's problem. He's relatively new, but if I had someone that was circumventing taxes of the tune of probably $1 billion over the last 10 years, if not more, just on property tax alone. They don't pay that either, right?
They don't pay property tax. They don't pay income tax. No. Their employees do.
The last thing I would do is turn around and say, kudos to them for giving us $10 million. Like, there's a $990 million shortfall there.
Yeah. What about, we could have paid for a lot of ambulances with the property taxes from 1 year of all these hospitals.
But the scary part is like when you get into that, like it's naive for us to think that Pittsburgh doesn't benefit because they're there, because they do.
Sure.
So.
And honestly, Pittsburgh is probably on the forefront of the medical industry because of UPMC and Highmark. I'm not oblivious to that. And I'm a UPMC customer, and it is what it is. We pay our extortion cost. And
when you're taxing the shit out of the hotel across the street, they're adding all these extra fees and stuff, and the Uber drivers are getting taxed. Everybody's getting taxed around you that's servicing you.
How about the employees all working inside it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it on here. My gig with UPMC was we had a great relationship. We never didn't deliver a job. We never didn't finish a job, never didn't do anything right by their standards. Like we kept them happy for 8 years. And they so much as took 1/4 of my business away from me when they quit doing their linens with us. And I never got a phone call. I never got an email. I never got a text message. My delivery driver went there on a Friday, like every other Friday before. And their janitor said, don't come back next week. I'm like, dude, we had an eight-year relationship here. Like, I would have at least expected their manager to call me and be like, hey, Joe, we're going another direction. This is what happened. But like, it was just get out of our driveway. See ya. I'm like, that's fucked up. You know, and that will be, if I ever get the opportunity to bid a job there again, it will be reflected. And I don't care if I get it, because it's false hope that you're going to do the right thing by small vendors.
Yeah.
You know, and that, like, it's part of these big companies is they should have to utilize X amount of small vendors.
Yeah.
Because they're taken from everybody. They don't give shit back. Their CEO makes a hefty salary.
What do you mean? They gave $10 million worth of ambulances to the city.
The craziest part of that was like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna get 9 buses, like 9 ambulances. I'm like, fuck, $1 million for an ambulance. Like, they're expensive as shit.
Yeah, they're really expensive. Do those ambulances go anywhere besides UPMC facilities? Or are they just basically ambulances that just bring them customers? They're going to be purple and white. We're going to donate some ambulances. You just have to come bring the patients here.
Yeah, you're going to be like, listen, you're going to be like, I need to go to Allegheny General. They're going to be like, sorry. It shuts off, actually. If we go
on the wrong bus.
Yeah. Port Authority will be here 15, 20 minutes, which is another crock of shit in the city of Pittsburgh. Yeah. Port Authority is robbing everybody. It's been robbing for years. Mm-hmm. They're Pittsburgh's post office. You know what I mean? It's just fucked up. And then you see it, the older you get, you know, you're like, you heard people talk about this stuff 20 years ago, you know? And I always thought they were just old, miserable bastards. Get off my lawn, you know?
No. They were.
Well, they were, but
now we are too.
Yeah, the world made them that way. Yeah. Yeah, what they've dealt with has made it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, there used to be multiple different health providers and healthcare companies.
We used to be able to go to our own doctor, private practice doctors, and we have a system now that doesn't do it.
Well, healthcare has just become unaffordable.
It has. And there are so many reasons for that. And politicians have not made it any better. They've made it worse. The Affordable Care Act, and I know that, you know, Trump's made comments, the Unaffordable Care Act, blah, blah, blah. But the Affordable Care Act did the exact opposite. It was, it increased rates.
Yeah, it was a Band-Aid for years.
And it was, right. But all it did was increase the premiums that the insurance companies ultimately get, and then use taxpayer money to subsidize them.
Right.
So instead of the insurance company being able to say, oh, well, Joe's healthy, so we're going to charge him $200, now they're not allowed to know whether you're healthy.
Right.
So now they charge $2,000, and well, Joe can't afford $2,000, so now he gets an $1,800 tax credit that basically the rest of the taxpayers in the country are paying. But at the same time, the insurance company's still getting $2,000.
Yeah.
So you just 10x'd what the insurance companies get. You're still a healthy guy that's still not going to use it any more than you would have if you were paying $200, but they're now getting $2,000 a month for your. Oh, by the way, you have a $12,000 deductible now. You have a $25,000 max out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like, so now you have shittier insurance for 10 times the rate, and you're not paying anymore. So you're like, oh, well, that's sweet. I only have to pay $200 because you didn't know that you could have gotten it for $200. That was the biggest crime of it all. When I went into business for myself back in 2012, I left corporate. I went myself. The biggest hurdle I had, the biggest fear, was, what's health insurance going to cost me? So I called UPMC Health Plan and I had a conversation, and it was the most eye-opening conversation because the lady on the phone quoted me and it was $156 a month. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's all it is. And I'm like, what's the deductible? And she's like, $500. And I'm like, what's the max out of pocket? She said, $1,000. I'm like, what's the catch? I said, I'm paying more than that now out of my payroll tax deduction, out of my payroll deduction. And I don't even have that good of coverage. And she said, that's what nobody understands. If you get insurance and you go through the physical and we can actually access your medical records and you're healthy, health insurance is actually pretty inexpensive. And it's typically less expensive than what the employer is paying, because the employer is not allowed to ask you what your health history is. So they're paying max rate. I'm like, oh. She's like, if more people knew this, they could just go direct and get their own health insurance, save a whole bunch of money, and not have to pay it all. And here, the best part is then you control it. So then you're not stuck in a job afraid, well, where am I going to go because I don't have health insurance? Fuck that job. I pay for my own health insurance. It's $156. I don't need you. Fuck you. I'm out.
It's not $156 anymore.
Not anymore, because when the Affordable Care Act happened, now the insurance company also is not allowed to ask anything besides my age, my zip code, and whether I use tobacco.
Right.
So now everybody's paying max rate.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you should be able to at least go back and look at your medical records. But this dude hasn't even smelled the inside of a hospital in 15 years. But they don't. They can't.
Right.
It's crazy. On a lighter note, though, the UPMC Presby facility that they're building in Oakland is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning.
Well,
it's like a casino, actually.
they got to spend that money, bro.
Right. Got to get that write-off. Wait, no, they don't.
But they have to be a nonprofit. They're not allowed to show a profit, so they got to spend it.
Right. But a little bit from what I understand, though, is it's actually going to change the way hospitals operate, that hospital.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, individual rooms the whole way through for
That's
people.
nice.
All the glasses there for a reason, because sunlight's good for you, I guess. And the technology, like a lot of these hospitals in Pittsburgh were built 100 years ago. We've just adapted them. So this is going to be the first, latest, greatest.
That's great.
So no one normal can afford to go there.
And it needs to be clear, like, my beef is not with a doctor.
No.
I'm actually, like, the organizations themselves are actually making it harder for these doctors to treat the patients the way they want to treat them.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, if you're time slotted, it's on to the next one,
Yeah.
It's like they're actually treating us like we're all triage patients.
Yeah, in and out.
Yeah.
And
Are you breathing? Okay.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where, I mean, my PCP that I've had for 20 years just retired. My wife's PCP that she had for her whole life just retired. A lot of these doctors that probably still have some years left are like, nah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I don't deal with this shit anymore.
Yeah, you used to be able to, like, call your doctor.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. If you had if your kid had an abscess or something wrong, you'd be able to pick up the phone and call somebody. Now you make an appointment. They're like, we can see you
in 6 months.
6 months. It's like, yeah, okay, sweet. Yeah, it's definitely lost its personal touch. I think you see that in a lot with all the businesses that make astronomical amounts of money. Everybody wants their hand in that cookie jar. And that's our government's in that cookie jar now.
Yep.
And it's not just UPMC, like those ambulances. Like, if you went out to a reasonable automotive garage that built custom vehicles and said, here's what we want to build, they could probably build them cheaper. But then they call the medical facility and they need the heart monitors, and they're like, they know. Mm-hmm. And, everybody's just gotten greedy as fuck.
And it's not just medical insurance. I mean, I've had conversations with other businesses that deal with insurance. Insurance companies in general, over the last several years, have increased premiums across the board and decreased payouts and cut revenues for the businesses that are providing the services that are paid for by insurance, and made it harder for them to operate while increasing the premiums to the consumer across the board.
Right.
And it's sickening. And I mean, we're stuck with it.
I've always looked at that like every business, every big business that has a CEO that's making over, $50 million a year. It's like, how the fuck do you justify that salary? How do you pay all your employees, $6 $75,000 a year, but the guy in charge is making 50 fucking million.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not against people making big money. Like, I'm not Peter Pan, but like at some point, dude, let's be honest, you're probably not worth 50 million bucks.
If you are innovating and making the world a better place,
Oh yeah.
I have no problem with you making infinite money.
Right.
If your business is based on charging customers a fee on a promise that you don't deliver.
Right. Like Xfinity's CEO,
Yeah, I mean, these insurance companies, they literally take money from you every month promising to cover everything. Oh, we're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of you. And then you get sick and they're gone.
$30,000 bill.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's not covered. Or we can't give you that treatment because that's not covered by insurance.
Right.
And the doctor's like, but that's the treatment that they need.
Right.
Well, we don't think so. Well, but who's the doctor here? The insurance company or the doctor?
Or the CEO that's making $50 million.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that everybody needs to Luigi Mangione or whatever.
We're not promoting that. But like when you got the Salvation Army, right? And the guy in charge of the Salvation Army, the CEO is making, 40, I don't know, he's making millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. That to me seems a little convoluted,
Yeah,
when there's probably some guy in his 60s that's retired, that's more qualified for the job, that would do it for a handshake and a attaboy,
Yeah, $100,000.
Yeah, fucking pay my living expenses.
Yeah.
And now a brief word from our sponsors. You've got a full plate. Kids, meetings, workouts, side hustles. There's better things to do than laundry. Introducing Wash, laundry reimagined for the modern world. Schedule your pickup in seconds via the convenient web app. Wash picks up your clothes, cleans with care, and brings them back fresh and ready to wear. But it's more than garments. From bedding and table linens to shoes, hats, purses, and more. Wash handles all your life's fabric, leaving you more time for life. Visit pickupwashdeliver.com to see how convenient it can be to do the wash. This episode is also presented by One Tom Plumber. At One Tom Plumber, in-house licensed plumbers bring rapid response and expert solutions straight to your home or business. Whether it's an emergency or routine plumbing service, they're your one call 24/7 to clear the problem and restore comfort. Trusted across Pittsburgh and surrounding communities with transparent pricing, respectful service, and true reliability. Save this number for when you need it most. 412-307-7622. That's 412-307-7622. Or visit BetweenTwoBridgesPodcast.com/support. And now, back to the show.
I don't know. I don't know where it goes from here because like politicians, they don't get paid enough, So
They're making money off these insurance companies.
yeah, that's the problem.
There's too many people, and I've always said that anytime you think there's something wrong with a system, follow the money.
Right. 100%.
And it always comes down to people getting rich on the backs of everybody else and underhandedly. Like I said, I have no problem. Like people shit on like Elon Musk, dude's changing the world.
He's selling a consumer product.
Yeah, he's changing.
And you don't have to give Elon Musk money.
He changed the electric car industry. He's literally going to space. You ever see one of those fucking things land?
Yeah.
Wild. Like, he's literally changing the world.
Yeah, that whole space thing is like insane to me, but that's him like in doing that. Like Tesla, people gave him that money. It was an elective procedure to buy that car and provide money to him. People that are investing in this SpaceX, it's not us. Like they're not forcing our tax-paying dollars on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there are also
people
a
like
lot
him
of tax credits that
well, 100%. Yeah, because everybody that's wealthy doesn't pay taxes.
Yeah.
But like Sam Walton's family, like they changed something.
Steve Jobs changed the world.
Right.
Tim Cook is changing the world every day. Amazon changed the world. So I don't have a problem with these guys having
exorbitant amounts of wealth
because they're
They work for it too, dude.
They work and they're revolutionizing things. They're not stealing from anybody.
Yeah, systems and processes.
But there's argument that like Amazon steamrolled mom and pop. But at the same time, like the consumers kind of had a hand in that.
Oh, absolutely. Because that's the way we
want
work.
that gratification. We want that online. We're lazy.
Yeah, you can use an iPhone 11, but people still run out and get the next one.
Right.
Like, I don't even notice any difference between this phone and my old one. I got a new one because the old one was broken.
Yeah.
But this is 4 versions newer. And it literally is the same phone, except for the buttons moved around.
Yeah.
So get the fuck off my lawn.
Yeah.
I'd have Nate show me how to put it on mute when I first got it. Like, where's the switch?
Yeah.
But, yeah. And speaking of, like, technology and, like, all this shit, you know, one of the things I realized is when I first got into business, like, Yelp reviews were like fucking.
Oh, I gotta talk about that too.
You gotta make sure your Yelp reviews are in check. Well, I was looking today just out of like, I don't know, black hole scrolling through, and the Doro Cleaners reviews were like terrible before I bought it. And it's unlike a lot of places where you can start a new page and get rid of the old shit from 12, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. But like, good businesses that I know that are good businesses, like they're like 2.6 on a Yelp score. They're 5.0 on fucking Google, and Google just allowed. I mean, I don't understand how it works. And then I'm thinking, why are you worried about? Not that I have a negative reviews like now with the new brand and everything, but like, why are you even looking at this? No one looks at fucking Yelp anymore.
No, nobody looks at Yelp. They look at Google.
Yeah. And then I deep dive Yelp, and Yelp's buying AI companies and spending $270 million. I'm like, how? Who the fuck's giving Yelp money?
Yeah. So I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, but we talked about it on the phone. So I got a negative. I've had 5-star reviews for my business across the board. I don't have a ton of reviews, but I have clients, tax clients, post reviews, 5 stars all the time. I got a notification on my email about a month ago, maybe, that I got a 1-star review
on Yelp,
on Google. I'm like, what? So I look, and I'm looking at the name, and the name said Kim Lock. I'm like, I don't recognize that name. So I looked at my tax software. I've never done a Kim Lock's taxes. Not a business owner that I've ever worked with. I'm like, who the fuck is Kim Lock? I've never done it. So I searched my entire system. I've never done any work for Kim Lock. And I read the review, and it said that I charged ahead of time and I only did 40% of the work and this and that. And I'm like, bullshit. Yeah, I've never charged anybody for work before I did it.
100%.
Ever. I always bill after the services are complete. So this is a fake review.
Right.
So I looked up online, like, how do I get rid of it? And it said you can appeal it, but good luck, basically. Yeah. But it said the best thing to do was to respond to it and just say, hey, I think that this is a mistake. Mm-hmm. I don't have any record of ever working for you. I think this is either a fake review or a mistake. Please reach out. Happy to make it right. Not really sure what's going on. So I did that. And I talked to you on the phone. And you were like, dude, there's companies out there that will put a negative 1-star review on you and then send you an email saying, hey, we can help clean up your Google reviews. You pay them so much money, and then all of a sudden those reviews disappear.
Because they created the reviews.
They created it.
Yeah.
So guess what email I got yesterday? Hey, we just noticed that you got an email or you got a review from Kim Lock, and it looks like it might be a fake review or a 1-star review, or it was a 1-star review. Our business takes care of negative reviews. We can get rid of that for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Meanwhile, Google can't get rid of it.
Right. They can because they posted the goddamn thing.
Right. Dude, and you know how many people, if you get 5 people to pay that $1,400 fee and then fucking, $379 a month for the next 1,200 months, dude, you're good. You're golden,
Dude, that has to be illegal.
Dude, and Google's the only one that can defend it. It's their system. But like, I think Yelp's more corrupt than any of them because Yelp will honestly tell you we can't take reviews down or nothing. And then they're like, do you want to advertise with us? We can boost your review rate. And it's like, oh, because you can enter the algorithm and get rid of shit. But the other thing that'll happen too is like when we renewed like our Yelp, and it was when I first bought the business, this was 8 years ago now, but I knew that there was a lot of negative on the internet because the old owner was done. He was getting out. He didn't give a fuck. And that happens. But I contacted people that I knew that would take time and help me out and write reviews. And they would flag all those fucking reviews and just, they would be in I could see them if I clicked on like unviewable reviews. I had like 13 5-star reviews that were unviewable to Yelp because they want you to pay that money. And they would, as soon as you paid, flip them all in. It's
such a scam.
Right. So you got to read the reviews. Don't just look at the fucking stars. Read the reviews because a lot of them are bullshit.
So I went on my Google the other day to see if that review was still there, and because I appealed it immediately. And I can't find the review.
But the totals dropped.
Yeah. I'm still at a 4.8.
Fucked up.
So they didn't take the 1-star like out of the equation.
Right.
They just removed her actual review.
Yeah, and I don't know for service businesses like ours that it matters that much. I mean, if you're like 4.8 or 5, or as long as you're not like 1.1, you're all right.
Yeah, I mean, I look at other accounting firms and I'm still 4.8 is still way better than 98% of the rest of them.
And if you read reviews, like even the ones that were like negative back in the day about the old owner, like they would be like, oh, he wrote our name in our shirts. Well, that was standard practice. It is what it is. A lot of dry cleaners back in the day before computers would write your name in your shirt in case the tag fell off. They could at least, he was just doing that was the way it was. So like, don't go crazy on people. But I had one negative review about Slady. They made it sound like I lost Betsy Ross's fucking original flag and they brought it into the cleaners. But it was a comforter that they brought in that was trashed. And I cleaned it so well that they swore that it wasn't theirs. Dude, this lady said that I lost hers, went out and bought a very cheap duplicate of hers, which I didn't know there was a huge market for duplicate fucking comforters.
Knockoff comforters.
Yeah, knockoff comforters from Kohl's. I bought a cheap version of her Kohl's comforter, and she took me to court. And I mean, I'm like, we have a barcode. This is your item. She refused to take it. I'm not taking that duplicate, that cheap duplicate. I'm like, okay, fine. So we ended up going to the magistrate's office, and she's on this shtick. She wants $300 for this comforter from Kohl's, which we all know. There's no $300. Maybe they say $300 on them.
Yeah, Kohl's does that where it's like, it's $300, but it's on sale for $50.
And and by the way, if Kohl's cash, give me $11.94. Yeah. So that was my argument. I wasn't trying to, and she was an older lady and her son was a dick. And I didn't even care. I just wanted her to kind of go away. And I offered to give her money for it. It just was a stupid story, And then the judge, and like all small business owners probably have experienced this, the judge doesn't give a shit about small business owners either. He rolls in their favor. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's here, And
Did you bring the comforter to the court?
Yeah, well, yeah. I brought it in a bag and was like, here's her comforter, It had pink shit all over it. I turned it all white and she's pissed off. And, he kind of was rolling his eyes, but he rolls in the favor of her. And then she starts down this road. She wanted more than what he rolled in favor because I think he did half, like 150. And she said, it has sentimental value. He goes, ma'am, I told you Pennsylvania doesn't pay on sentimental value. I'm sorry. She just kept running her mouth. And then he changed his rolling. Fucking was like, get out. And I'm like, we'll see you later.
So you ended up not having to pay at all?
Yeah, and I still use the comforter. Nice fucking comforter. So that's what I think about your.
So you won.
That's what I think about your Google review, Sean R. Fucking dick. Dude, yeah, this isn't my comforter. It had a huge pink spot on it. I'm like, that's what we do here. We get spots out. Yeah.
If it still had the pink spot, I wouldn't be able to charge you to clean it.
We should be able to shoot videos to defend ourselves in the reviews, right?
Yeah.
Like record the person and be like, this is what we're dealing with.
We should.
Yeah, but there is some reviews that are just like bogus. They're just
100%.
Fucking erroneous.
And this one was clearly because I got the email saying, hey, we can get rid of it for you.
Right, and on the other side, there's some great reviews out there that are made by those companies, by a bunch of bots that figured out an algorithm to just spew your shit. Because I see it. There's companies out there that do like cleaner reviews. Dude, and I know companies that have hired him because no other fucking dry cleaner in the area has 594 5-star reviews. Like, dude, fuck off. Nobody's leaving the dry cleaners to be like, whoop.
Dude, we do so many tax returns every year.
You get one
And
review.
I have stickers and like signs all over the office, like with QR codes. Leave a review, leave a review, leave a review. Dude, I get like 2 reviews a year.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. No one's giving you, like, it's weird. The people that do reviews are people that like to do reviews, good or bad.
Right.
Because you can, like, there was an old one on there, and the dude, it was literally, he wrote a negative review about Doro cleaners, and he wrote a negative review about McDonald's, saying that it soured his stomach and that he'll never go back there and eat again. And I'm like, dude, that's been McDonald's philosophy for the last 48 fucking years, bro.
They don't care, dude.
Dude, you literally, like, if you took the time to write a negative, that just shows the person you are, you know? So yeah, it is such a, and I think with AI though, I don't know how much of the AI is going to allow, if you ask for an accounting firm, if AI is going to be like, here's the 5-star ones, here's the 3-star ones, stay away from the, I don't know. It's a whole other ether, dude. So, fuck it. I just think they're fun to read sometimes. And man, when you're first in business, that shit'll make or break you. Like that shit'll stick it, not to your customers, in your personal mind, dude.
Yeah.
Like in your brain, you're like, holy fuck. I mean, I've been ready to jump through the phone on people when they say, I'm going to leave you a negative review. I'm like, we're just getting started here. Like, let me fix what's wrong here. Yeah. And you know, you're good customers. You could fuck shit up. It doesn't matter. They're not going to jump online and write a review. But these motherfuckers that are looking for a free $5 coupon, and that'll make me tone deaf to a conversation real quick. What are you going to do for me? I'm like, wait a second here, dude. I mean, I just dealt with a guy, great customer, great guy. He had bought a shirt. We followed the care tag. It didn't hold up. It shrunk. I mean, we tried to like do everything we could. It just happened. And I gave the customer store credit for the value of the shirt. Kind of what we try to do. Lessens the blow on us. And before we could figure out where we were going to land on this, the store that he bought the shirt closed. They shut down abruptly. I'm like, yeah, because they were selling shirts that were fucking shrinking in the wash and they couldn't afford to keep up. These motherfuckers, and now I'm honoring a store credit for this manufacturer that just fucking left in the middle of the night. So it's a struggle out there, brother.
It is, man. It's a struggle for business owners.
Yeah, I mean, so fuck them reviews, man. If you don't get, we don't write a reference from Between Two Bridges for your business, you don't even matter.
That's right.
Wouldn't that be nice? Like, just call us up, send us an email.
We'll leave you a review.
Yeah.
$800.
Yeah. And then when people find out, $1,200.
Yeah.
So.
Or we'll leave a bad one and we'll take it off for $1,200.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess like kind of closing up here for a little bit, just so this is documented. We did reach out to the mayor's office. We were going to talk about, I wanted to talk about St. Patrick's Day Parade. Time sensitive, urgent matter. They were going to turn it into their people.
No comment.
No comment. But there was a lady, and I don't remember her name. She was on KDK radio 2 days in a row. And she's like, that mayor's out there partying with all them leprechauns and hanging out, and I'm over here with no power. Like, she was pissed, and good for her. You know what I mean? Like, get it off your chest, because there are some people that like get forgotten about, you know, and the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So my power went out at my house on Friday. Saturday, nothing happened. Sunday, I called to report it, like, again, just so they knew. And the lady was like, yeah, the notes here say that you have a branch on the power lines. I said, ma'am, there are 7 trees down, and all the power lines are on the ground. It's a little more than a branch. She was like, oh, I could hear her. She's
clickety, clickety.
She's like, I escalated it. I can't give you a time frame. They were there in 40 fucking minutes. I'm like, I should have called yesterday. So, yeah, that's another job fucking has to suck, you know?
Yeah, but you know what? Anytime you call there, dude, they don't give a shit. And anytime things get heated, they're like, if you don't like it, call the PUC.
Yeah.
Which is basically screaming into a void.
Yeah, true. So they have a lot of outs, but still, like, no one ever calls. No one ever picks up the phone and calls Duquesne Light. I might do it next week when everything's fixed up. I call him up and be like, how you doing today?
How you doing? Everything's great. I just wanted to say hi.
Can I get your address? I'm going to Uber eat you a couple cups of coffee
Yeah.
or something. Like, I feel bad for
Everything's doing great. You guys are great.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you.
Yeah. Like tow truck drivers are like that too. Like no one's ever like
Happy to see them.
Tow truck drivers here. It's always like fucking worst day of my life, you know?
Yeah.
So quite a few professions like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If you drive a tow truck and want to come on and talk about it, I want to hear your stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wrap it up. Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck that. Fuck this.
Yeah, we did good.
I mean, we didn't get too negative this week.
I mean, we went at UPMC and Highmark pretty hard.
I mean, that might hurt eventually, but
Fuck them.
yeah. I plan on like going in there DOA whenever I go there. It's like, I'm not fucking coming out. I'm going to use them as a temporary fridge for my body.
I'm going to go to the doctor next time and they're going to be like, I've been saying that. They did that to me. These motherfuckers.
He's like, I'm sorry, I can't see you anymore.
Yeah,
You have to break up with your doctor. And I don't blame the people that are in the racket. You know what I mean? I don't blame the guy that's making the CEO that's making $50 million. Why the fuck would you do that? I mean, you're going to step down, like, I think this is wrong. I'm making too much money. Give $25 million back. Fuck no.
Make the ching while you can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault the man. It's not the man's fault. It's the system.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's where we're at now. And I guess we can officially say it. We won't be here next week.
No.
Background's going to look a little different. Nate's already nervous as shit.
We got to figure it out.
Dude.
We may be here. We may be like, well, that didn't work out.
Like, we got some B-roll footage for you, right? Yeah. Nah, yeah, I think it'll work out great. So, but yeah, that's it, man. Love you, bud.
Love you too, bud.
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Visit our website for links to all the businesses we've showcased, additional content, and merch. If you or someone you know would like to be on the show, email us at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Till next time, make it till you rake it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.